Not a bad day. Not bad at all. A nice steady stream of customers, and many of them new customers. Something we're seeing a lot of these days. New customers, new business, more business. That couple, for example, live in my neighborhood, but never saw them in the store until, that's right, until now, when they've come to see the new RCA Victor system of recorded music. Think of it. For the first time, a record and an automatic player designed together and for each other. Arturo Toscanini, world-famous conductor, said, and this is a direct quote, "I consider both the record and the instrument a significant advance in the field of recorded music." Yes, that from the great maestro himself. But you see, it's not only the great music minds of the world who are hailing this new RCA Victor system. Heifetz, Swarthout, Arthur Fiedler, Kusevitsky, such stars as Tommy Dorsey and Eddie Arnold. But folks like these, they hear it, are convinced, and buy. And as new record customers will continue to buy again and again. Take Susie Q here. With the new RCA Victor system, she now has her own personal player in her own room and is buying lots of records. And in this day and age of many homes with more than one radio, but few with more than one record player, that's something. There's another new customer. Let one of the other boys talk to him. I want to talk to you folks. Here it is, the new RCA Victor record. First half of the amazing story you have to tell about the new RCA Victor system. Present it to your customers for what it is. The modern, inexpensive way to enjoy music. Slip it between the pages of an ordinary-sized book. Show how it will fit ordinary bookshelves. That's right. It's only 7 inches across. You can also show how indestructible they are. Being made of vinylite, you can bounce them, slap them around, you can bend them without the slightest distortion of tone quality. A point you can definitely demonstrate. Impressive, isn't it? And here's another fact you can demonstrate with regard to the vinylite surface. Turn the volume down completely. Put your ear to the playing surface. Needle chatter has been minimized to the lowest point yet. Turn the volume back up and let the record play to the end to demonstrate another point. This tiny 7-inch record will play as long as an ordinary 12-inch record. This brings us to one of the main questions regarding the new RCA Victor system.
Why the 7-inch size and the 45 speed? Just to be different?
No, sir. The new size and the new speed came out of many problems and difficulties. Your difficulties with past records and record changers, and your problems of record storage in homes that tend ever to grow smaller and smaller. Scientific checks showed a great variation in records. For this reason, RCA Victor engineers were given an assignment back in 1939 to come up with equipment that could handle all these various kinds of records. But it wasn't the kind of problem that could be solved unless both a new record and a new changer could be created for each other at one and the same time. The changer must be efficient, and trouble-free. The record, distortion-free and smaller. With regard to the record being distortion-free, a very interesting fact well known to engineers was discussed, and that is that theoretically every record, regardless of make or size, can have a quality zone, an area in which there is no tone distortion. Any music recorded on the record beyond this point is not distortion-free. Distortion in this area is caused by the relationship between the angle of the needle in the grooves at this point and the speed at which the record revolves. With the same amount of music on a smaller record as a goal, the speed of the turntable would naturally have to be reduced. In reducing the turntable speed, RCA Victor engineers stopped at 45 RPM when rigid tests proved that any slower speed at this diameter would introduce distortion.
And here's the extra sales tool we give you. By not putting any more music on this 7-inch record than would ordinarily be found on a standard 12-inch record, it gives the customers complete selectivity, which answers an important customer want in symphony as well as pops. And when a customer is offered exactly what he wants, that is the best invitation to buy. Those facts make a lot of sense. And learning to draw this simple little diagram helps not only to explain the reason for 45 RPMs to customers, but best of all, helps explain it to yourself. You see how and why the new RCA Victor records are distortion-free over their entire playing surfaces. And you see why they are smaller. And what a selling point that smaller size is to the women folks. In this day and age of small apartments and limited storage space, this smaller size means that folks don't need to build special cabinets for record storage. Any standard bookcase will do. Now look, you can demonstrate right in the store exactly how much this smaller size means to customers. With a foot rule, measure off 1 foot of space. 18 albums. Count them. 18. Or more than 150 singles, all in this 1 foot of space. And all of them non-breakable. And here are 18 symphonies in the old and breakable 12-inch records. Let's see the difference in space each takes up. Over 2,000 cubic inches taken up by 18 old standard 12-inch albums. Less than 550 by the new. And the difference in weight? Over 60 pounds, as against only 8 pounds. And now just one more close-up of these new RCA Victor 45 RPM records, before we move into the exciting story of the new RCA Victor record changer. Now, we saw how indestructible these records are. Bend them, bounce them, nothing happens. But as if that weren't enough protection for the music you want to hear, see how the construction of the record itself prolongs the life of the music. Notice the raised center shoulder. Now, this means the playing surfaces of the records don't touch, either when playing or when stored in their album boxes. Good-looking albums, too. Lightweight, yet sturdy. A wonderful thought when considering record merchandising by mail. And that's just one of the great things about this new RCA Victor system. It opens up undreamed of possibilities for new merchandising methods and new record markets. And now let's put a whole album of these distortion-free records onto the new RCA Victor changer. How easily, how casually a whole symphony can be put on to play. 8 records, up to 10 records, yet no spindle hunting. That's because of the large center opening. This large, to allow the record changing mechanism to operate from the center of the record. the most important factor with regard to the lightning speed of the changer, as well as record safety. Finally, just one touch of one button, and you can enjoy up to 50 minutes of music without giving the player one further bit of attention. But let's take even a closer look. The selection on this player has been completed. Note the lightning action of the changer. That's why it's called the world's fastest. If you didn't see it, you'd never believe a changer could work that fast, and so silently. And here's the how and why for behind this miracle of engineering. Let's see a diagram. The simple record-changing mechanism operates from within the spindle. It consists of two tiny little shells for the records to rest upon. But let's take the records off for a second to add two tiny little knives that slip out from the center spindle, while at the same time the little shelves move back into the spindle. That's the movement. Simple and sure for trouble-free operation. And putting the records on, you notice another reason for the center shoulder of the new records, primarily to allow for a space between the records, for the knife to slip out between when the shelves move inside the spindle, and the records drop into position for playing in response to the action of the tone arm. And here's the story of this new tone arm of the new RCA Victor system. With its silent sapphire permanent point pickup, which means no needle change, this tone arm exerts but a mere 1/6 of an ounce pressure on the record surface. Yet it tracks in the grooves with amazing firmness. One of our saleswomen thought of demonstrating the point of how firmly the tone arm tracks by placing a full match folder under the top record on the turntable. Not one change in tone. Another method of demonstrating the firm tracking of the tone arm is to slip one of the new albums under the side of the player opposite the tone arm. Then turn it on. You don't need a spirit level with the 45. And, of course, another feature that permits these distortion-free records to be heard in their fullest beauty is the world-famous golden throat, part of all sets with the new RCA Victor system. In short, it's a system that's as great an advance over all present-day systems as modern electrical recording is over old-style acoustical recording, as present systems at their best are over the old gramophone disc and horn, or as this first flat disc was a vast improvement over the first cylinder record. This new RCA Victor system represents the very first time a record and a record player were designed together, made for each other. Eventually, it will be the only way to play recorded music in the home. Already, we know that many other record and instrument manufacturers plan to adopt this new, this better, this more sensible system. The next point is to see how you can sell up through the complete line of instruments that feature the new RCA Victor system. Commencing, of course,
With this inexpensive attachment unit that has all the basic elements of the new RCA Victor system. The world's fastest changer, the required 45 RPM turntable, the lightning fast, lighter than ever tone arm, plus a plug for convenient connection with any set having a phonograph input jack. The special pickup cable permits playing through any radio or record player in use today. It's the new RCA Victor model 9JY. The next upselling step in the RCA Victor line of instruments with the new system is this complete phonograph for playing the new low-cost distortion-free records. It's complete with its own speaker and, of course, its own Golden Throat acoustical system. RCA Victor Model 9EY3. So lightweight, it can easily be carried from room to room. And with its optional carrying case, it's truly a portable record player.
I'll take you along some of the next sell-up steps. From this complete record player that you can promote as that additional, that personal record player in the home, to this table model. But first, just a word more about this model, 9EY3. Never forget what an opportunity this particular instrument offers you to promote the idea of a record player for every member of the family, as you now promote a radio for every room. This model, RCA Victor's 9Y7, combines the new RCA Victor system of recorded music with AM radio and, of course, the Golden Throat acoustical system. From 9Y7, you can sell up to this console radio phonograph with 45 RPM, the RCA Victor 9W101. This lovely traditional cabinet opens to reveal the new RCA Victor system of recorded music with the world's fastest changer. AM and FM radio, storage space for 24 albums or 216 singles. And for the same features, but in a cabinet styling of modern beauty, you have this console. The RCA Victor 9W103, perfectly designed for modern living. The next sell-up step brings us to this console with AM, FM radio, plus 2 record changers. The new RCA Victor system and a changer for standard 10 and 12-inch 78 RPM records for your present collection. And as you see, plenty of storage space for 10 and 12-inch albums, as well as the new distortion-free RCA Victor records. It's the RCA Victor 9W105.
And now, if I can take over again, I'd like to show you the instrument in the line that's got absolutely everything. First, the new RCA Victor system of recorded music, with plenty of space for storage of the new distortion-free records. Think of it, 139 singles or 20 albums in this small space alone. Second, AM and FM radio. Third, 78 RPM, 10 and 12-inch record changer to play your present collection. And finally, the big plus, RCA Victor Eyewitness Television, to make this RCA Victor 9TW333 a complete home entertainment unit.
And here's the big plus in our film, color. The only way we could really bring you the complete merchandising story on the new RCA Victor system of recorded music. Yes, color is a big part of the story. First, with the sales-winning colors of the new RCA Victor distortion-free records. Jewel-like red for RCA Victor Red Seal selections. And as you see, packaged in colorful, sturdy box albums, or sold singly. Sky blue for international records. Clear yellow for children's entertainment. Midnight blue for popular classics. But black will, of course, still be used for all regular pops. Green will instantly identify country and western numbers, and still another color for blues and rhythm numbers. It's very apparent what this new RCA Victor system of color coding will do for stock control. Just remember the colors and pricing. and refiling problems are gone forever. Mothers and dads' classical records, for children's entertainment records, for pops, westerns, and blues, sorted out in no time flat, and everybody happy. And what display possibilities these new jewel-toned RCA Victor records bring to point-of-sale merchandising. To the RCA Victor national advertising designed to bring customers to your store. To displays that signal from your window that your store is the one that carries the new RCA Victor system of recorded music. The new records and the new changer they have seen and read about in the highly colorful national advertising. Yes, color is really taking over in record merchandising, as eventually the entire new 45 system of recorded music on the smaller records will take over in public preference. But remember, the change will be evolutionary, not revolutionary. And for many years to come, RCA Victor will continue to produce its vast catalog of 78 RPM records, and all releases on the new records will be made available on 78s. In the meantime, you're set up for the surest selling job you've ever had. And not only will you find the new RCA Victor system of recorded music the most fascinating merchandise you've ever had to sell, but most important, so will your customers.
But you can say that again because, brother, I'm sold.